Think we'll catch anything today, Millie?
Yeah.
Think so? A few nights ago, I took my daughter fishing, and somewhere along the way, I forgot why we were there in the first place. You see, I've been grinding lately. Early mornings, late nights, obsessed with catching fish. So when I took my 7-year-old daughter fishing at 8 p.m., I wasn't just looking for a fun night. I was looking for results. And I didn't realize that mindset was about to ruin everything. I told her we'd go fishing at 8 o'clock, which is right at her bedtime, so going fishing with Dad that late was exciting to her. So Monday rolled around, and after a long day of work, I loaded up our rods and reels and gear, and we headed to the local pond by our house. We got to the pond, and I was eager to get to the water. I'd been there recently at the same time of night, and fish were slamming top water, so I knew they might be doing the same thing tonight. And so I rushed my daughter out of the car. We speed walked to the spot that I had in mind, and that's when things started going downhill pretty quick. It all started with her insistence upon using her own rod. You see, I'd planned for her to use my rod and reel because it was already set up with what she'd likely catch fish on, a tiny little crankbait. But she was excited to use her own kid's rod that I bought her a while back. So I finally get her rod set up, and I cast her line into the water, and then I go over and cast my own line into the water, but before I could even start reeling in my lure, I look over and she needs help with her own line. And then we'd only cast it about 5 times before she needed to go to the bathroom. If you're a dad, you know the feeling. Here we are, all of our stuff's unpacked from when we set up her rod and reel. We're not 5 casts into the trip. We're missing the top water bite, and we have to pack everything up we just gotten out, all so that we could go back to the bathroom that we just passed on the way down to the water. And I'll be honest, I got frustrated with her, and I unfortunately let that frustration show in how I was talking and how I was acting. And quickly, this fishing trip that was supposed to be fun and memorable was turning into a trip that she'd probably just want to forget and pretend never happened. And I remember standing there looking at my daughter's beautiful blue eyes that she got from her mother and thinking, she's not here to catch fish. She's here to spend time with her dad. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. I might have been winning the fishing game, but I was losing the fatherhood game. And my perspective changed. See, I was so focused on catching fish that I'd forgotten the reason why we were fishing in the first place. To spend time together. So when we got done with the bathroom, we went back to the water, and that new perspective stayed with me. Now, I was happy to untangle her line. Now I was thankful to teach her how to use different lures. Now I was excited to teach her tips on how to cast, and we had such a fun time. We didn't catch anything, but we laughed and told jokes and made some genuinely special memories. And I was reminded of Psalm 127 verses 3 through 5, which says, "Children are a heritage from the Lord, offspring a reward from him. Like arrows in the hand of a warrior are children born in one's youth. Blessed is the man whose quiver is full of them." You see, our modern society often views children as a burden, as a nuisance, something that gets in the way of fulfillment and satisfaction in life. It's like if we could just get rid of these kids for a while, we could finally enjoy ourselves and have some fun. And I know kids can be a handful. Trust me, we have 3 of them, but man, are they special. And man, are they worthwhile. They're a gift. And when we realize that truth, that kids are a gift to be cherished, tiny humans made in God's image who we've been charged with loving and caring for, and not just that, but that they're a true joy to raise. Once we realize that, everything changes. Kids stop being something to pacify and contain, and they start to become something to pour into and intentionally raise. And so before we left the lake, I got down on my daughter's level and I looked her right in her eyes and I just poured into her. I told her I loved her, that I was proud of her, that I had fun with her and enjoyed her presence, and I made sure that she knew that she's supremely important to me. Because she is. All my kids are. And as I drove home that night, I couldn't help but to think about how close I came to missing it. Not missing the fish, missing her. I was so focused on what I wanted out of that evening that I almost missed the gift that God had already given me. The truth is, one day my daughter won't need help casting anymore. One day she won't ask me to untangle her line. One day she won't be excited just because she gets to stay up late and go fishing with her dad. Those days are numbered, and that's what Psalm 127 reminded me of. You see, children aren't obstacles to the life that we want to live. They're one of God's greatest gifts within it. That night we didn't catch a single fish, but standing beside that pond, laughing together, telling jokes, and making memories, I realized something. We didn't go fishing to catch fish. We went fishing to be together. And in the end, that's more than enough.